Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of anticipation. It's your one last moment to catch a breath before the unknown becomes known. Because once that green flag drops, everything is suddenly on the line. Your fenders may fold, your bumpers may break. Watch that car spinning, and watch the one flying over your head. It's a race of attrition, and all that matters is that you beat second place to the line. And you say you want to become champion, so what else are you waiting for? Let's go chase for the cup. Never has the desire for glory been so fierce. Here we are for our Miscraft Cup Series season number 9. This is the prelude to the Daytona 500, the qualifying duels here at the Daytona International Speedway. It's time to go racing here around this 2.5 mile super speedway to set the starting lineup for the Great American Race. And heading into this season, we've got a ton of new drivers and a ton of new formats coming your way here this season. And be sure to hit like and subscribe to keep up to date with the Miscraft Cup Series in 2024. It is sure to be the best season we have had yet here on the Miscraft DIECAST Racing channel. And we're going to try to get those 12 drivers down to 6 here in Daytona. 30 are chartered drivers, then you have 12 open cars here going to try to fight their way into the Great American Race. And starting on pole for the Great American Race, if he can keep out of trouble in the first duel here today, is Chase Elliott, the number 9 machine. His last one was back on season number 7 of the Richmond Raceway. We'll see if his starting lineup here today in the duels and even the Daytona 500 could get himself a win. And here it is, Ryan Blaney, two-time Ryan Blaney, Season 4, Season 8 champions. He will start 10th here today in duel number 1. Going to try to get himself a solid starting position there on the inside lane for the Great American Race. And it's definitely going to be a tough contender for the rest of the field here for the number 12, Ryan Blaney. And then up ahead of him a little ways behind him a little ways will be Daniel Suarez, your Season 8 Daytona 500 winner. Here's how he got it done over 2 years ago. So it's been a while since we had ourselves a Daytona 500. Can Daniel Suarez go back-to-back here in the Miscraft Cup Series? Well, we're going to have to find out, because today we're just setting out the starting lineup for the Daytona 500, but we'll see what they will be able to do in a couple of days' time. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go and get your starting lineup for duel number 1 here today in Daytona. And for today's races are the only times we're going to show all the sponsors for all the drivers. 21st place in Duel 1 is J.J. Yaley. Then you have Greg Biffle in the 44 there just ahead of him. You have Todd Gillen driving the number 38 for Front Row Motorsports. Then you have Austin Hill in the number 62 machine. These 4 drivers so far are all open cars. Then you have Jimmy Johnson in the Legacy Motor Cup. Him as well as an open car for this race, trying to race his way into the 500. Then you have Austin Cindric, the first of the chartered cars. Same for Chase Briscoe there now in the top 15. Then you have the 8 of Kyle Busch there in 14th place, the most sponsors out of any chartered driver this season. The Daniel Suarez, your Season 8 Daytona 500 winner. You have Austin Dillon for RCR as well. Up ahead of them will be the first JGR Toyota. It'll be Ty Gibbs in the number 54 machine. And they have Ryan Blaney, your Season 8, your 2-time Miscraft Cup Series champion. And then right up ahead of him will be his best buddy, Bubba Wallace, in the number 23 machine for 2311 Racing. Then Harrison Burton for the Wood Brothers in the number 21 machine. You have Denny Hamlin in the number 11 machine and starting in the 7th position. Then you have Josh Berry now driving the 4, who starts 6th. Ahead of them will be another open car. It's Daniel Hemrick for Colleague Racing starting at the top 5, a solid starting spot for him. Same for Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19. Then you have Ryan Preece into the 41, and shotgun to the field is going to be the 34 of Michael McDowell. And the pole sitter for the Daytona 500, if he can keep the car clean today, will be Chase Elliott and the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. And here's the race info for these duels. It'll be 6 laps apiece, and 6 open cars are in each of these races. And the top 3 of those open cars will make it into the race. And it's pretty simple. 2.5 mile racetrack, 31-degree banking. It'll be full throttle here at the Daytona International Speedway. Wide open, pedal to the metal racing. It's definitely going to be intense. So here we go, getting close to the premiere of this season. And the cars are fired up, and we're rolling off here in Daytona for duel number 1 of the night. And it's definitely going to be a good one. So sit back, relax, and as the cars now roll off, here are, once again, a look at all your open entries. J.J. Yaley, Daniel Hemrick, Todd Gilliland, Greg Biffle, Austin Hill, and Jimmy Johnson. The best 3 of these 6 will make it into the Daytona 500. And here we go, onto the loud pedal for the first time today and this season. It'll be Chase Elliott leading us down to the green flag, and Michael McDowell does not get a very good start on the outside lane. They're going to be top two, single file on the inside. Now side by side once again for second on the back straightaway. Elliott retains the lead down to turn number 3 as the fly by the field there and into the banking. As here comes McDowell with a huge shove from Martin Truex Jr. He will lead lap number 1 here today. Well, they're already fighting for position. Truex goes to the inside, and Berry moves the 34th racetrack. They're 3 wide, and Josh Berry going to try to take advantage of his first couple of starts here in the Miscraft Cup Series. And here comes Hemrick now with a charge of the inside lane there as Priest moves up the racetrack, and Truex leads lap number 2. Back into turn 1, we got trouble already for Austin Hill. Looks like that number 62 machine might be out of this race already. An engine problem we're hearing for the 62 machine.
Hard to really make moves, kind of stacked up.
And you hear there for Michael McDowell, hard to make moves back in the pack, trying to get back up to the front of the field. But here comes Denny Hamlin to remedy that. Oh, Elliott dives down to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. for the point, but he's got no momentum there. And there's now 4 Toyotas lined up on the top side of the racetrack. They are going to try to lead the charge here in Daytona. Off turn 4. Oh, trouble, there goes Daniel Hamrick sliding through the infield, and he saves that race car and dives onto pit road, and we will stay green with 2 laps to go. Man, duel number 1 green so far. Oh, Ty Gibbs tries to block the 41. He pushes him below the double yellow line. And as we come to the white flag in duel number 1, Truex with the lead. And NASCAR calls a penalty for the 54 Ty Gibbs. And onto the back straight with it for the final time. Who's going to take home the first checkered flag of the season? Hamlin jumps to the outside of the racetrack. He's going to try to take the lead away from Martin Truex Jr. on turn 4. Oh, Truex slides. They're 3 wide behind Denny Hamlin, who will lead them to the line and win duel number 1 here in Daytona. What a great finish to a full green race here. Let's take a look at the only incident we had. The 31 got spun around off the front end of the 99 of Daniel Suarez. But it looks like no harm, no foul really, except for the fact that he will not make it into the Daytona 500. And here is the charge off turn 4. Bubba Wallace gave a huge shove to the 19-inch Truex. Got him really squarely off turn 4. And that allowed the 11 of Denny Hamlin to win duel number 1, and he will start 3rd in the Daytona 500. Let's take a look here at the Ty Gibbs penalty. Priest trying to make a move to the inside, and the 54 just pushing below the double yellow line, and that is not allowed. So he will be scored at the tail end of the lead lap. And here are the cars that did not qualify for the Daytona 500. Those 3 cars are Austin Hill, Greg Biffle, and Daniel Hemrick. Meaning J.J. Yaley, Todd Gilliland, and Jimmy Johnson making it into the Daytona 500. Here are the top 20 race results here. You got Denny Hamlin on top. Josh Berry with a solid finish there in the 2nd position. A strong showing for him in his first Miscraft Cup Series appearance. And then here's 11th through 20th. There you see Ty Gibbs will be listed on the tail end of the lead lap. The only car not shown here was 21st position, Austin Hill. And he did not make it into the Daytona 500. Same for Greg Biffle and Daniel Hemrick. Well, there you have it. That is duel number 1 here in Daytona. We're going to go get everything set up for duel number 2 here at this 2.5 mile super speedway. A solid, clean race there to showcase the next-gen race cars here with only about 20 cars to battle for a checkered flag. And, you know, once we get the full field in for the Daytona 500, things will definitely get a little bit different than you'll see here in the Daytona 500 duels. And we got the second group lined up on pit road, getting ready to go here for duel number 2 in a Daytona. 6 laps again for these drivers that will have an opportunity to qualify themselves well for the Daytona 500. I was going to take a look at some of the drivers to look out for in this field here today. You got Joey Logano starting on pole. He will be starting 2nd in the Daytona 500. He qualified well on speed, and he will be racing to retain his starting position. So, you know, don't be surprised if we see him drop to the back here early on in this race. And then just behind him a little ways is going to be one of the new competitors in the Miscraft Cup Series. New team, Texas Heat Racing, Blake Garcia and the Pepsi 07 machine. Great appearance, great paint scheme for that number 07 Toyota. A couple of new Toyotas will be joining the field this season. And they will be chartered cars, so they are locked into every race this year. Same for Tyler McDonald, starting 11th here today. He's also driving for Texas Heat Racing. So those pair of Toyotas into this duel, going to have a little bit of time to work out how to drive around each other and work together to see if they can get themselves some solid finishes here today and qualify well for the Daytona 500. All right, well, there you have it. A couple of cars to look out for tonight's second duel here at the 2.5 Mile Super Speedway. And here's your starting lineup for duel number 2. Open car, Kaz Gralla starts tail end of the field. Then you have AJ Allmendinger, another open car starting in 20th just ahead of him. Same thing for the John Hunter Nemechek machine. An open car for Legacy Motor Club. Your first charted entry for tonight's race will be Carson Hosfar with Spire Motorsports. Then you have Noah Gregson now driving the 10 car for Stuart Haas Racing there. 16th will be the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for JTG Doherty. Ahead of him will be Christopher Bell in the number 20 machine for Joe Gibbs Racing. And then you have the 60 car for David Reagan and RFK Racing, an open car here in duel number 2. Then you have Eric Jones for Legacy Motor Club, a nice Guns N' Roses machine here for Daytona. Then you have Brad Keselowski with RFK, and then new team Texas Heat Racing's Tyler McDonald starting in the 11th position. Then ahead of him will be another open entry in Corey LaJoy in the Built machine. We're now in the top 10. Here's William Byron in the number 24 machine for Hendrick Motorsports. Ahead of him will be Ross Chastain for Trackhouse. And then the 2311 entry of Travis Pastrana. And it'll be another open car there for him. And Kyle Larson in the number 5 machine. And your top 5 for duel number 2 starts off with Tyler Reddick for 2311. Then ahead of him will be Chris Buescher in the number 17 for RFK Racing. Your top 3 will be Blake Garcia in the 07 machine for Texas Heat. And then your front row for duel number 2 are Alex Bowman and the number 48 with Hendrick Motorsports, and the 22 of Joey Logano, who currently is locked into that second starting position for the Daytona 500, as long as he can finish the race here today. Well, you know, there is a superstition here for duel number 2 that it is typically the more chaotic of the 2 duels at Daytona. We'll see how that holds up to its name here for duel number 2, with Joey Logano starting out front, Alex Bowman to his outside. There's a lot of inexperienced drivers in the Texas Heat drivers, and then you're going to have also a ton of aggression here as well with drivers such as Joey Logano and Ross Chastain as well. So we'll definitely see how that will play out. And if you head on down to CircuitDiecast.com, you can use the code NMCS Racing to get discounted shipping on hats, t-shirts, diecasts, and more on orders over $30 in the United States. And the cars are fired up for duel number 2, and they are rolling off to the pit lane. Joey Logano will lead us down for this edition of a 6-lap qualifying event. Here we go. Logano will choose the outside for the initial start. He will have Chris Buescher lined up behind him on the top side of the racetrack, and the second and final event of the night here at the Daytona International Speedway for qualifying duel number 2. We are underway here in Daytona. Down to turn number 1, Buescher gives a nice shot there to the 22 of Joey Logano to get him out front. And they are single file. Bowen tries to go to the top side of Buescher there, and he will have help from his Hendrick teammate in Kyle Larson there off turn number 4. And Joey Logano gets split 3 wide of the line, and Alex Bowman will lead lap number 1 of the day here for duel number 2. Way upstairs will be that 48 machine. He'll rocket down the back straightaway with help from the 5 car buried in his truck. Here comes Chastain to the inside for second. And they'll rocket out turn 4. Oh, there's contact and Chastain to the wall. And he'll spin into the grass. And he'll collect a couple of other cars as well. Buescher and LaJoy go spinning in the infield, and the first caution is out. And let's see what happened here entering the tri-oval. Oh man, the 1 car just trying to clear himself off the 5 of Larson, and he just did not have enough room there, and he slammed both of those cars at the outside wall. Looks like Larson hit it pretty square, but that 1 car took a lot of heavy shots to each corner of that race car. We'll take a look at it one more time here. Just came right back down in front of the field, collected the 7 of the 17. You saw the 07 of Blake Garcia getting some wreck avoidance practice there down pit road. And definitely did that well. As we get ready to go to the restart here, Joey Logano will go down pit lane and sit at the bottom of the field for this restart. It will be a 2-lap to go restart here in Daytona. And who will be the open car that will make their way into this race. Remember, 3 of them will make it in. Here we go. Here in Daytona, be 2 laps to go in duel number 2. Very quick caution, a very quick finish here. Chastain is the only exit from this race so far. Green flag is back in the air. 2 laps to go. Bowman with the jump with help from his teammate Kyle Larson. Garcia does not get a very good jump there on the restart down the backstretch. Here comes Reddick to clear himself. They're 3 wide again for 4th now as there goes the 07 through the middle. And here we come to the white flag. 4 cars single file against the double yellow line. Here comes Reddick with the 67 of Pastrana to help. Bowman blocking back and forth. Here comes Reddick to the outside lane for the lead. They're going to side drive each other back and forth down the back straightaway. Who's going to get to the line first? Reddick goes to the way outside lane in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Off turn 4. The advantage goes to Alex Bowman, who leads him back to the line to win duel number 2. And Alex Bowman comes home with a checkered flag here tonight in Daytona. And let's see how we got it done to start 4th for the Daytona 500. You see that middle lane just kind of dissipated there for Reddick, and that run kind of went away. And the 47 Stenhouse just couldn't give him enough of a run to get him past the 48, who wins duel number 2 at the 2.5 mile superspeedway. And there you have it, folks. That is the duels from Daytona. The qualifiers for this race will not be Corey LaJoie, Kaz Gralla, or AJ Allmendinger. It'll be Travis Pastrana making it in. Same for John Hunter Nemechek and David Reagan. Those are the 3 cars from this duel making it in to the Daytona 500. Here are your race results here from this one. A couple of Hendrick Chevrolets on top. Then you have Tyler Reddick and then another Hendrick Chevy in William Byron in 4th. A solid run there for McDonald finishing 6th. Then Garcia fell back to 11th, but had some solid showings there. And the one driver not shown here at the bottom of the standings was an open car and didn't make it. I'm just kidding. Now it's Ross Chastain, who crashed out early on into that first wreck on lap number 2, coming to lap number 3. Well, next up on the calendar is the biggest race for a while. It's the Daytona 500 for the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series Stop Motion Series a couple of days from now on February 16th. And be sure to be there, man, because if the duels were anything to shout about here tonight, the Daytona 500 will be even more exciting. Longer racing, more cars to battle for it here for the most prestigious race in the Miscraft Cup Series season other than the championship. But hey, until then, we'll see you next time.